Hello everyone. Today I am going to tell you about the plus 2 political science book chapter, the first one, that is the Cold War era. Dear students, what do you mean by the Cold World War? What is it? So the Cold War referred to the competitions, tensions and confrontations between the US and Soviet Union backed by their respective allies. This is the very important thing that you have to write. Actually the Cold War is the tense atmosphere prevails, but actually there is no war. But you have to write it down like this, that is the referred competitions, tensions and a series of confrontations between US and Soviet Union backed by their respective allies. And the number 2, in the Cold War, in spite of being an intense form of rivalry, between great powers, that is US and USSR, the countries remain cold and not at shooting war. Shooting war means the hot war. Third one, the deterrence relationship prevented the war, but not the rivalry between powers. When I am talking about the deterrence relationship between the war, but not, it means the arms race, that both the countries spend too much on arms and ammunitions. That is the arms race. So what is the Cuban Missile Crisis? Over to the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a high point of what came to be known as Cold War. The highest point of the Cuban Missile Crisis is known as Cold War. Now, here in the Cuban Missile Crisis, when we are talking about the Cold War, that is the ideological war. Listen, remember the thing, it's not military part, it's the ideology. Because the US ideology is the capitalism and liberalism. Ideology of the US is capitalism and liberalism, or the liberalism and democratic. And on the other hand, the ideology of USSR or the Soviet Union is socialism and communism. So Cold War is between the ideology of between these two superpowers. So now after the Cold War, after the end of the Second World War, the term period of the Second World War is 1939 to 1945. The Second World War is between Allied and Axis power. When we are talking about Allied, that is US, Soviet Union, Britain and France. When we are talking about Axis power, that is Germany, Italy, Japan. And now, listen the thing, US dropped the atomic bombs on Japan. Why? They dropped the atomic bombs on Japan in the year 1945 on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They said Japan, there were too much losses of the lives at that time. That's why to end the war, US dropped the atomic bomb on Japan. But on the other hand, the USSR, that is the Soviet Union, criticized. They said the Japan about to surrender, but the US shows his power to the whole world. That's why the US dropped the bombs on Japan. Now after the Second World War, now the world was divided into two blocks. That is the Eastern Alliance and the Western Alliance. The Eastern Alliance, that was headed by Warsaw Pact, USSR, the Soviet Union and the satellite states. That is the Warsaw Pact in the year 1945. And the Western Alliance. And what was the main function of the Eastern Alliance? The main function of the Eastern Alliance was to counter NATO forces in Europe. Warsaw Pact, the counter NATO forces in Europe. That is the main function of the Eastern Alliance in the year 1955. On the other hand, the Western Alliance, that was headed by United States, and its the main power is NATO allies and its allies in the year 1949. And with the NATO, there are two more, that is the SEATO and CENTO. In 1949, the NATO forces have joined with 12 countries. Attack on one, give the reply with all the 12 countries joined together. That is the emergence of two power blocks. And now listen, here I told you this is the arms race. Now come to the arms, two power blocks signed agreements, 3 agreements. It means arms control. Which were the 3 agreements which were signed by two power blocks? Two powers, when I am saying two power, that is US and USSR. Which is the agreement? That is the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. These were signed by the two power blocks in the year, that is by the two power blocks. So First World War, the term period is 1914 to 1918. The Second World War, the term period is 1939 to 1945, and the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis. Here I had explained, this is a very important topic with the small summary of that topic I had given to you. Thank you.